debate this then. Should a boss ever be able to tell an employee what to wear when they're working from home? Joining us now is Michaela Wayne, who's a construction company owner and believes a boss should be able to call out an employee if they're not dressed appropriately, along with Angie Slanky, founder of the MEA Consulting Group, helping companies build a diverse culture. She says actually she'd be happy for employees, in fact, to wear pyjamas from home. I take it you're not wearing your pyjamas, though, because you are essentially at this very moment working from home. Angie, tell me what you think, what difference it makes as to what you wear when you're on, you know, your sort of conference call from home.
You know, ultimately, like, lockdown has really shown us that we can think differently, work differently, and still be productive and effective. The real question is, does what you wear affect how productive you are? A recent study actually showed that 60% of employees feel and are more productive when they are allowed to dress more relaxed. And as a business and a business owner, you know, I've been really forced to work on output. So the delivery of an employee, the delivery of my suppliers, what are you bringing and what are you contributing over the input of how you look. Lockdown has ultimately put all of us in this situation that's unprecedented when we took on our roles. We took on our roles with the office hat on, with a particular code of conduct, but it's really allowed us to think differently about things. So have we been effective working from home? Most people have actually been super effective working from home.
Hang on, Andrew, are you seriously saying an employee speaking to a client of their company over Zoom, it's absolutely fine for that employee to be there in her teddy bear pyjamas? I mean, that's absolutely fine, you think? Is it? Really?
I think it's about being realistic about the situation. So I don't believe...
When's a realistic situation where you can wear your pyjamas?
No, when I'm saying a realistic situation, it is around what are you wearing? I mean, the whole nation of Britain who are working, I do not believe, spends their entire day in pyjamas. On the other hand, though, when we're looking at self-expression, it can be really bold, baggy jeans. It can be ultimately whatever you feel comfortable in working from home. But traditionally, have we judged employees based on their appearances, how they look and representing our brands? To an extent, yes, but now we're at a point where it's pivotal, where we're actually focused on the output, because we're in situations where, you know, we're asking for video calls now. You know, before, working from home or taking a meeting was a voice call. But now we're inviting ourselves into the homes of our employees, and we're taking on other roles, like, you know,
let's ask Michaela. Michaela, you take a different view, don't you? That, you know, you as a boss should have the right to tell somebody to up their game in their wardrobe department. Why do you feel you've got that right? Especially, as Angie says, you know, if you're working in your own home, you might be swapping hats from being, you know, cooking lunch for the kids or doing something else, and then you're sort of trying to do the work as well. It's not an easy task, is it, to look sort of spick and span the whole time?
No, it isn't the easiest of tasks. I've been working from home with two children, a 1-year-old and a 10-year-old, and there's never been a point in the day when I've had to do a scheduled Zoom call where I didn't have a moment to put on a shirt before I took that call. And I think when you're representing a brand and you're getting paid by that company to represent that brand, then you should do it as if you was in the workplace still. These Zoom calls are supposed to represent a physical meeting, and I think the same rules should really be applied.
What about the wearing of makeup, though? I think that's quite an interesting one, because that's even more personal, isn't it, I think, than the clothes you wear. What would, Michaela, would you tell someone, listen, I think you need to put a bit of makeup on?
I don't really think it's my decision whether or not they should be wearing makeup. But if people are showing up to a meeting physically or online and they look like they've just got out of bed, then I would have something to say about it, because you need to take care of your appearance in whatever industry you're in. So give your hair a quick brush and put on a nice top.
So Michaela, let me clarify. I mean, you know, I suppose most people would agree that, you know, a male employer suggesting to a female employee to look more sexy or provocative is probably not the right thing. But if a female employee willingly wanted to dress provocatively or dress in to make herself look physically attractive because she thought that would make the meeting go better, is that even happening? Is that possible? Do you agree with that?
I think that people should stick to the dress code of the company. So it depends what this attire you are referring to. If a woman's got a top half out, then I wouldn't say that was appropriate to be wearing in the office or on a virtual meeting either. I think you just need to dress appropriately for work. I don't understand why it's a debate or how people are confused by that, because you should just dress as the company asks you to dress, whether that be a polo top, a shirt, a vest top, whatever it is, a high vis. You should be wearing what your company sets as the dress code.
Andrew, why is it a debate? Why is Michaela wrong about that? It isn't that hard, she's saying, just to whack on a decent shirt that isn't got stains on it and brush your hair. You'd do it anyway if you were going to work and you had to take public transport and you're going into work yourself.
So I absolutely think that this is the year that if we're going to think differently about things, it's absolutely that period of time. Because I agree with Michaela, when you're an employee, you're representing a brand. But are you representing a brand through your contribution or through how you look? In this day and age, we are now promoting things like individuality, self-expression, being allowed to be yourself, and really having this kind of dress code and code of conduct around that. It's a bit of an outdated model. And if we have a look at some of the, companies who are really thriving, the industries that are doing really well, like the tech giants, most of them don't actually set dress codes. And there's a question around, has it affected productivity? Is the company thriving? Absolutely thriving. Maybe there's an argument around the fact that we can express ourselves through individualism. It boosts creativity. It boosts morale. This is all around leadership now. Yes, we've been working traditionally in a certain way. As we're easing out of lockdown, we're going to have the disparity between those who are working from home, those who are working within the office. Should we redefine what professional looks like? Absolutely. Should we be more human about things?
It feels to me, ladies, that we're having a real discussion about sexism, because when you have this debate, you automatically think about women. I mean, no one ever questions. I was just thinking, in all the meetings that I have, I could probably get away with just wearing a T-shirt and jeans, and no one would bat an eyelid. I can imagine for women, if you were to wear a T-shirt and jeans, maybe there will be some preconceived idea. There may be some issues. And I think that's the issue. We're still in that sort of sexism world, are we not, Michaela?
I think it's about dressing smart. I don't think it matters if you're a man or a woman. I just think you should be dressed smart. And I like all of my employees, when a client comes into the office, to look like they're dressed at the tone of the company. So I'm not asking everybody to come in a tuxedo and a ball gown. I'm saying dress smart, casual. I don't think people should be turning up, somebody in a tracksuit, somebody in a suit, somebody in jeans. It just doesn't, it looks messy. It just doesn't look good. And that isn't the brand or the tone of my company. And that doesn't matter if you're male or female.
Michaela and Andrew, thank you so much. I think Natalie on Twitter is interesting. She says, my 22-year-old daughter had just started freelancing and had to do a Zoom call with a male colleague who asked her to position her camera lower so he could see what she was wearing. She was mortified and is now trying to get out of working with him. And so I think, and Felicity may have the answer. She says, I'm ahead of the curve. My Zoom meetings only show me down to the collar.